coming into this week, right? Carolina Panthers, huh? Winning
Yeah.
in.
I mean, last week was the biggest game of the season, and it became not. So now this week becomes the biggest game of the season.
Yay! Woo! We love to see that. Now, I actually, Billy, I don't know if you know this, but I ran a poll on the channel. I've been doing that a lot lately.
I
Uh,
like the polls. I voted them. I love the polls.
they're very fun. I love a good poll on YouTube. It's just a lot of fun, right? Now, I said, do you think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win in Week 18 against the Carolina Panthers? 1,200 people voted in this poll, Billy. I want you to guess the percentages, or I guess really, because you'd be able to do quick maths after this. But how many people do you think said yes? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win percentage wise.
I'm gonna say 83%.
You're pretty close. It's 88%. And I think that is a great thing to see, right? It shows that people still have a lot of confidence
Yeah.
in the Bucs. And we're going to be talking about some other polls that I've been running on the channel here lately as well here throughout this live stream. But the fact that 88%, look, folks, Carolina Panthers, they're down bad, as we say in the business. They're down bad. It is. I mean, you got the owner pouring his drink on people at the most recent game. Bryce Young does not look like he's in the best of situations. It's tough for the Panthers right now, Billy. This is a game that the Bucs should win. Is that fair to say?
Yes, a game they should win, and I think I know we're going to talk about Todd Bowles' job security. That's something that's coming up, a little foreshadowing, but a game that, yeah, they should win, and at an important juncture like this in the season, yeah, just they should win. I'll leave it at that.
I agree. I mean, look, it's the team that literally should have the number one overall pick in the draft, but they were
Yes.
so bad they traded it away. like I don't look. I don't mean to knock Panthers fans. I genuinely feel bad for the situation that they are in right now. But it should be a very very winnable game. And like the Bucs are pretty healthy too, all things considered. We'll probably dive into the injury report a little bit later on in this, but this is a situation that's the perfect storm for the Bucs, Billy. I think you would agree with that, where they're coming in with everything on the line. I mean, if they don't show up now, I don't know what to tell you at that point. You're playing probably the weakest team in the NFL, one of the weaker teams in the NFL. Obviously, a division game is still tough because your division opponents always want to go out there and beat you. But this is a team the Bucs have already beaten this year. Admittedly, it was a close game. I think it came down to a field goal or something along those lines. But the Bucs are healthy. The Bucs should have the motivation that they need to go out there and win this football game, Billy. Because again, if they win, they're in. If they lose, they're out. It's as simple as that. That it don't get any easier than that, Billy. So, do you think this team's going to show up motivated?
Well, you'd like it to be that simple, but it was also that simple last week, and we saw the result that the Buccaneers put out on the field. Yeah, like you said, it was a field goal game last time these two teams played. I think a lot of that had to do with the weather and the conditions. I think that really kind of bogged down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense a ton in that game. I would expect the Bucks to show up. I was feeling, remember, last week when we were here, I was feeling really confident the Bucks were going to show up against the Saints. So maybe I don't have as good a grasp on the team as I thought I did because they showed up nowhere near the field. I don't know where they were on Sunday. It was not Raymond James Stadium.
They were home.
So yeah, it was
But we don't mean
so
home. We don't mean home in the stadium. They were at their houses.
just chilling,
Yeah.
just chilling, watching the game like everyone else. So I just think, yes, I believe that they'll show up. I think it's very clear, like the magnitude of the game is very apparent. So yeah, I believe they'll show up. And as you said, I mean, talk about a game you should win. I mean, it's a gift wrap for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? It's winning you're in against a team that you already beat and a team that relatively everyone has beat. So yeah, you should win. You should recognize how important it is. I don't think there's a chance it's a trap game because they just got fleeced a week ago by the Saints. I, but man, it's in my head that performance last week.
See, I feel the opposite way now, right? I feel like given that the Bucks, because we had talked about it last week, right? Where it was a situation of, oh, I don't know, could these guys get complacent? And they did. Um,
And
it was a situation like that. I feel like, okay, you've gotten that out of the way now. Now you can re-lock in, which is, we've seen this team do it before. This year we've seen this team do it before.
yeah,
I'm gonna guess that they're gonna rebound. I'm gonna guess that they're gonna bounce back. In fact, I'm gonna say they're gonna win 28-12. Billy, I'm gonna say that. What do you think?
28 to 12. We're going score predictions, huh?
Yeah, just threw it out there.
I'll say 20, probably like 24-13, 24-10.
I
I don't 28 to 12 is a lot.
It's fair. I think that the Bucs are gonna take this opportunity to hopefully say, okay, we need momentum going into the playoffs. We need to prove that we can look like a good football team. And I think that they're going to do their absolute darndest. Players, coaches, everybody, you know. Um, and they're going to say we want to make the playoffs, so let's go make the playoffs. That's what I think is going to happen. Ultimately, we'll see, right? We'll see. You never know what could happen. Again, if they lose, but um, I think it's going to be a situation where they're going to bounce back. Especially like, dude, they've got to be so upset because they got embarrassed by the
They
Saints.
got
There's no
embarrassed.
easier way to put it.
No, they got embarrassed for sure.
Yeah, so they're gonna rebound, I think, and go out there and get a win and route to the playoffs.
And for some of the guys who have been in the locker room for like a longer period of time, they got embarrassed in the most obvious way. Like it wasn't even, it was so like a lot of people, I think, you just kind of alluded to the fact that you thought they would maybe get complacent and then kind of the old school Saints Bucks rivalry vibes would come back. And they totally did. All of that happened. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I was so wrong for doubting you or even disagreeing with you when we were streaming about it. But for the old school, like veteran guys who have been there, like the pre-Tom Brady
Like
era players,
Golston, Levante, Evans.
just such a even Chris Godwin, it's just such a reminder of what used to be because they've lived that, right? So for them to lose that way, it's just man, it just it's just got to hit different. So yeah, I don't think it'll be. I would be shocked if this week was a trap game, but again, it's just crazy to me. Like last week shouldn't have been. It should have been like it was the poetic justice way to end the season and get yourself in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it didn't happen. I mean, it didn't happen. So we'll see, man. I don't think this is a trap game. I wouldn't classify that as that. I wouldn't classify this as that. Words are hard. And I think the Bucs will rebound and hopefully look pretty good en route to the playoffs.